Welcome to the first episode of Investornoobs Bookclub. Today we're going to talk about chapter 1 through 4 in the book called Confessions of a Real Estate Entrepreneur by author James A. Randel. This book is such a good book for everybody who is getting into commercial real estate. I think everyone should purchase this book and read it together like a Bible. So if you would like to join me every other Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I open a book club for any new investors to come and join me. Just talk about the book in general, important facts and questions. Also, just give each other a supportive environment for any new investors out there. So let's get started. In chapter 1, the author talks about adding value. So there are 2 ways that anyone could add value in commercial real estate. First is the process in which you acquire the property. So within this adding value in the process of acquiring property, the author means by using certain type of contracts, option agreements, or negotiation skills that tips into your favor. Second is adding value literally by renovating the property, and this aspects we could touch more on that in the later down the road at our book club. So he talks about these 2 factors when it comes to adding value in commercial real estate. In chapter 3, author titles this chapter as the basics. So in this chapter, author covers different terminologies with examples that you need to know in order to familiarize yourself within commercial real estate field. So I pulled out around 9 vocabularies that I thought were important for everyone to learn. So there's a first one, quitclaim deed. Quitclaim deed is when a guarantor releases his ownership to the guarantee, but the guarantor does not guarantee that there aren't any liens or interests against the property. So basically, guarantor means the owner of the person and basically the person who transferred the ownership. And the guarantee are the people who's receiving the ownership. And you might be wondering, which I also wondered, why anyone would go for a quitclaim deed. First of all, in quitclaim deed, you don't need a title insurance search, which means it cuts a lot of time, and it's a very easy way for the guarantor to transfer their rights to a guarantee without going through all this, process of title research and insurance. And this quitclaim deed is usually done between family relatives or spouses, basically someone you really trust, that you think they wouldn't give you something that has liens or interest against. So this is why a lot of people in the commercial world uses quitclaim deed. Next is assumable loans. Assumable loans is when the buyer steps into the seller's shoes and deals with the lenders. And this is a common practice in non-recourse loans, which meaning credit-worthy borrowers. Banks don't really like this assumability because they would much rather take that money out and borrow to someone else at a higher interest. But it is a thing in the commercial world where the borrowers directly deal with the lender by being in the seller's shoes, which is called assumable loans. Speaking of assumable loans is common to find in due on sale clause within the wrap mortgages. Wrap mortgages are basically you have your first mortgage and you wrap around your second mortgage by paying off the first one. When you're building a contract, it's very important for investors to pay attention to words such as reasonable, because these words can mean really nothing, but when it comes to eyes of the law, this could actually tip the lawsuit in your favor or not. So reasonable is when a situation, when you encounter them, majority of people would act a certain way. There are 3 words that kind of group together. One is encroachment, second is encumbrance, and third is easement agreement. Encroachment is when there's an improvement that is intruding to another person's property. And second, in encumbrance is like a limitation of your ability to fully enjoy your property. And this is an example, for example, it's like a mortgage. But usually mortgages are paid off before the title is transferred. But such as mortgage, it limits your ability to enjoy fully because you have to pay your mortgage. Last one is easement agreement. Easement agreement is when there is an agreement between two owners that they allow each other to access certain parts of a property to mutually benefit their operations. Words of summary of what I learned within this first 4 chapters of the book is, first, it's so crucial for you to revisit all the basic terminologies that the author talks about in chapter 3. I think they're so crucial, thus me leaving a video to reference later down the road. Second is, don't ever underestimate how you construct your contract by the eyes of law, because the way you construct your contract could be a favorable term when it becomes eyes of the law or not. So make sure always consult with a lawyer and also study yourself, do your homework before actually building the contract. And last one is, always check the title owner in the clerk's office or the tax assessor's office, because the author talks about this really interesting example where one of his clients bought a property, and before buying the property he went through his he did his due diligence, which is the homework that he did to make sure that the owner was just one. But when he was we closed the deals and trying to acquire the property in the process, the deal fell out because there are actually 2 owners, not just one, and the second owner was a brother of the first owner. And these things, you have to double make sure it doesn't occur by checking both your county clerk's office and also tax assessor's office to make sure there are full members of the title owners so that you don't encounter similar mistakes. This is the end of first 4 chapters. And these 4 chapters are literally holy grail. When I was reading this book, I was so hooked onto it. I could not stop. I'm already advanced into a little bit further chapters. But anyway, our next book club meeting is November 21st. That's within the next 2 weeks of Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you have time, want to join me on a book club, please feel free so. As of now, November 7th, it was the first book club and I was by myself, but it's okay. I had the time to film the YouTube and kind of summarize everything I've learned. But if there's anyone out there who wants to join me, please add me on my Clubhouse and apply as a member, and I will accept you so we could talk at book club. So have a great weekend and I will see you guys soon. Bye.